Welcome back. As we promised earlier, we are going to continue celebrating the 50th Jubilee, or commemorating 50 years of the October Great Victory, October 1973 war victory. And we are going to shed more light this time on how the Egyptians received the piece of news, how they received the heroic deeds by our armed forces, and what were the most important features of this era, one of the greatest eras in our modern history. To shed more light on this, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone His Excellency Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, former commercial minister. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and a very good morning.
Very good morning to you and to the viewers.
In my humble opinion, Ambassador Ayoub, in time of crises, the sense of belonging is getting all the time deeper and deeper. And
Right.
this patriotic feeling that there is a duty to be all the time beside your country, beside your state, and to exert the utmost efforts or even sacrifices for the sake of the nation. Tell me, how was the case before the October War? I mean, in the attrition war period.
During the attrition period, all the Egyptians were supporting through the effort, military effort, exerted by our military people, and they were pleased that there is attrition for the enemy. Because this simply meant that we are keen and we are insisting on creating a new situation by which we achieve victory in sometime in the near future. And in October, 6 October, it happened. I was in Cairo at the time, coming from Damascus. And when I have seen the eyes of the people, of the ordinary people, the men and women, old and young, and it is like tears in the arms, watering their eyes. We are on the right path to achieve victory. During the days of the war, interestingly, we find that all people were keen and cooperating with the government and leadership to economically support the military effort. And we crossed the Suez Canal, our armed forces, thanks to all those who helped, and especially General Baqi Gaid, who invented the new way to melt down the Barlev line. And this is something which is now given as lessons in all the military academies in the world. So we are proud with what has been done, and we are not only proud of our military forces, but also we are proud of the support exerted by the people to their military forces to achieve victory. And there was a victory, a historical victory, will I say, which we are enjoying until today.
This is exactly what I wanted to focus on, Ambassador Ayoub, as many people would say, we will not go into a war. Okay, enough is enough. We are afraid that our sons are going to fall martyrs. But no, the case was totally different. Even the people by that time were accusing the political leadership of having this foggy atmosphere. When we are going to enter the war, when we are going to regain our dignity and our land, as if sacrificing our souls for the sake of the nation, of regaining our dignity, this is the fate of Egyptians, and this was our will, all in all, whether people or army. And we cannot separate this from that, if you agree with me on that.
I fully agree with you that the people were pressing the leadership, we need victory. And once the victory was achieved, we must stick to it and make use of it. And this is what happened. Some people were pressing the leadership, but leadership knows better in this case. They know the situation, they know the timing, they know the resources, they know the enemy, they know the lines, they know the topography of the land. And that is why the decision of war cannot be decided by the common people.
Yeah.
but by the leadership and specialized leadership who knows when and how to do it. And they did it, and thanks to God and to President Sadat at that time, and and to our armed forces. And this means that leadership knows more and knows better. So we cannot listen to all what the people are. We support the people. We like what they say. We like their pressure and so on. But the timing is decided by the leadership and the military leadership. And this is something very important. We cannot forget it, that the military is in a better situation, a better position to set the timing and how they can do it. And this is what happened. And that is why we achieved victory in October, 6 October 1973. That is 50 years ago.
Sir, what we call the strategic deception plan made by late President Anwar al-Sadat and his men, of course. Was it that way? I mean, we knew from media reports, for example, that just days before the war, or launching the war to be accurate, it was written in Al-Ahram that the door is open in front of military commanders and military officers to go to the little pilgrimage or Al-Umrah in the holy month of
Yes.
Ramadan and stuff like that. Was this the situation?
This is really interesting. The deceit campaign, or deceit, or President Sadat, President Sadat, was tactful in this respect. Even my brother he was a military man at that time, and he did not know anything about the timing. He just left me in Al Tahrir Square and took his car to Bilbis base to join the Air Force. He did not know anything about the timing. So, in war, deceit is very important, and smart minds can do it in a better way, in the best way possible. And this is, we are very proud of what happened, because most of the Egyptians were pressing the leadership, war, 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 we must regain our land. But things in this respect they are decided by planners, strategists, and topographists, and economists, and all this team decide how and when we can do it. So a great deceit ploy, we can say, has been exerted, and it was swallowed by the enemy, and that is why we achieved victory in October 73.
Sir, when a soldier or an officer or anyone affiliated to the armed forces walk in the streets by then wearing his military uniform, how was the reception of our people to him? I mean, I know that people kept on asking him when we are going to go forward and continue with our efforts to regain our lands, and they always kept on encouraging them to continue with their efforts, with exerting the utmost efforts to achieve this goal. How was this on the ground, I mean in the street?
In the streets, people were pressing, and as soon as the war broke, I found that the women kissed the people, the military people who might be passing by the way.
Yeah.
Even in the public transportation, they said they give them priority in everything. All the people were completely supportive to the military effort from their heart, not only from their mind, but also from their heart. And that is why all the people were pressing, supporting, and giving the highly needed assistance. If you go to the cooperatives which sell meat and chicken, people usually were speeding to have a bigger portion of meat or chicken. But after 73 war, or during the October war, people took on the minimum so that they give space for others to have it. So this means that the Egyptian people are patriotic, and they love their country, and they love their armed forces, and
by nature, this is genetic. When it comes to our land, this is genetic.
It is genetic.
I mean,
that is correct.
Since the Houthis, since the Hexus, I mean, for thousands of years, when it comes to our land, no mercy, if I can call it this way.
Yes, you can call it no mercy. Yes, of course.
Yes. Ambassador Ayoub, the soft power, it's a very important element. I mean, until the moment when we listen to Abd al-Halim, for example, singing ابنك يقول لك يا بطل, your son would call you a hero, or when we know about the efforts exerted by Kulthum in collecting donations and to sing
Faida Kamil
in
and all
Paris
of them.
for the financial support of our army. Balik Hamdi, Al-Abnoudi, Salah Jahin, we do have a number of names who did really great in using the soft power as playing a very positive role in this regard. Having movies like Abna Samt, for example, regarding the attrition war, and just after the October War, we do have also a number of movies and a number also of songs. Let me know the role of art, of cinema, of drama, of songs in also adding to the atmosphere, whether before, during, or after the 6th of October victory.
Arts had a decisive role in mobilizing people to support the military efforts. And that is why when you kindly said Kulthum and Balik Hamdi and all the other Faida Kamil and Abd al-Halim Hafiz and Muhammad Abdul Wahab and all our artists and even those who are putting caricature in the newspapers, even in the media, in the television, in the radio, and all of them, and even in the theater, all of them were supportive to the military effort, and this gave a very good backing to the armed forces. The armed forces always needs the backing of the people, the economic backing of the people. And this happened in a bright and really interesting way to see how the Egyptians were one block behind their armed forces in achieving, in making in making victory, achieving history, and making use of what has been achieved during the October War. We are proud of that, what has been done, and we should always keep our lines intact and one block behind our leadership.
Ambassador Ayoub, there is a secret between Sinai and the Egyptian people. Sinai is considered all the time, I'm not going to be exaggerating if I say the dearest part of Egypt. Very valuable, having a very special position in our hearts and minds.
Yes.
Do you have an explanation before going into more details?
Sinai for the Egyptians is like the heart in the body. It is something like that. That is why we say that our borders are beyond the Sinai. That is to say that Sinai should be always fertile, many population in it, tourism in it, economic prosperity in Sinai, and this is what we are seeing now. Many projects are being done in Sinai, in El Arish and the other parts, and in Sharm el-Sheikh and the other parts, in Dahab and the other parts of Sinai. Why? Because it is the buffer zone between us and any other aggression. This historically from time of Ramses II and other great Egyptians.
Our eastern gate, as you've kindly mentioned, and this
is our eastern
to
gate.
develop
Right.
Sinai, or to talk more about developing Sinai, was my coming question to you
Really?
regarding the
That's good.
keenness of the political leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to consider the development of Sinai as one of the priorities, a forever priority for Egypt. And here I'm talking about not only tourism, about agriculture, about mining, about industry, you name it. And to cleanse Sinai from terrorism in the massive military operation from 2018 to 2022, this was another crossing, if I can call it this way, another victory. If 1973 October War was a victory, what we have done in those 4 years was another victory, not less important, and we also paid a lot of our dear's lives and souls also for the sake of the nation. How do you see this comparison?
It is a positive comparison, because we need to create development and population in Sinai. What has been done during the last 10 or 7 years in Sinai gives us an example of what we are going to have in the next few years. The economic development, agricultural development, and mining development and touristic development in Sinai is vital as development in the Nile Valley or the Western Desert. Sinai is very important, and has been done until now is promising, and we'll see the results very soon. The most important part is that we should create population. We should create the existence of population. When it is sparsely populated, it encourages aggression. But when it is densely populated, it is something else. And we need to create population, and Sinai resources of water can accommodate around, let us say, 20 million people. So we need to proceed in this road so that we create another balance of population in Egypt, so that we are not in the Nile Valley only, but also in Nile Valley and Sinai, which can accommodate more people today and tomorrow.
And in fact, we connected Sinai now with the Delta, with the tunnels. Now Sinai is closer than ever. Well, Ambassador Ayoub, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day.
Thank you.
We were very much delighted to have with us via phone His Excellency Ambassador Ayoub Mahmoud Ayoub, former Commercial Minister. Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.